Okay, guys, Mr. Dave back here with you, going back into the past. Again, this is probably 20 years ago. Cool thing is you can take a look at this one and understand you can make a little pond pool. This was all structurally built like a real swimming pool. It had a skimmer on this end. I don't know if it had heating or anything like that, and I can't remember. It most likely had a step going down in the end of that, sort of a little cool-off pond, if you will. But we built this big water feature, or at least big rocks with it. You'll notice this rock right here, which is not artificial. That is the real McCoy. But I aimed to match that when I built the rest of the feature. And I do believe this over here is a planter that didn't get filled yet. Very interesting job, it seems to me. I'm really remembering, after all the surgeries I've been through, my memory isn't quite there. Don't remember exactly how things have gone in my life, but these are great memory cues. They remind me of the journey I've been on. But isn't this cool? This sweet little tiny wading pond, or maybe it was just for ornamental purposes, although it was aimed away from the house. So it, I think, was just to kick back, cool off, and look at the view you'll see in the next pictures. The view we have is kind of neat. Again, I got a full rock satellite, I like to call them, on the opposite side of the pool there, or pond. It sort of is, I guess. But very interesting project, and so we can build projects, and they do not have to be ginormous pools. They can be small little features that give us reflection, the wonderful sound, and in this case you can see the view. So I was coming out to East County building these things long before I moved out here, and this is part of the reason we moved. Look at that view. I just love it. And here we examine a little closer the spillway, and I always like to, if I can, make separate ponds and puddles and little places for water to congregate and move on its way towards the pond or the swimming pool. And you can see that here. It has a starting pond on the top, and then it pops over that little edge there where there was two rocks, give it a pinch point, and dumps down into that first place. If you have a pond, you want to have a place for it to receive that energy. If this was just a flat rock, it would just splatter everywhere. And even if you have a receiving pond to take that energy, you still end up with some splashing that happens, as you'd expect. You can see it. The water then comes down, bounces around the rocks, and comes and finally gets into the swimming pool, or in this case, swimming pond, I guess you would call it. And the rocks I was aiming to match, again, what was there, very dark gray. I also added in by hand. I used a sponge and added in little black spots on the rock because the real rocks had those. So that was some handwork with the sponging as the project was being painted out. And we see this photo showing more of that view out there. Just beautiful. Just an amazing view. That's one of my favorite things about East County living is the views. Just one of the things that feeds my soul. So here we have again another view of those rocks. They're simple. They're roundy a little bit. I could use some more fractures and some more corners on them, I think, looking back. But again, this is the beginning of my career, and I was kind of learning how things go. I can't remember if this was shotcreted or all hand-built. It may have been hand-built. I don't remember exactly. I sure have enough pictures from this one angle. I think that was one of my favorite views. Looks like the starting pond is barely high enough to keep the water from overflowing out. That's a little close. I'm sure it was okay, but that's getting a little close there, Dave. Again, this is the beginning of my fake rock career. It has a nice look about it, and it does have some of the cracks that I have now in much more of my rocks and stuff. So this is a project that I was done in East County, San Diego, and now we rotate and we're sort of looking more towards the east on it now. And there's a rock back here, and I'll show you in another picture. Pretty crazy. Big old thing there, monument stone. It's the God made. And you can see the black. There's probably a name for those, but it's more like a dark spot that was in the granite that was around the real granite, and I was trying to mimic that a little bit. Here we see again that those ponds that bounce on down. See the flagstone that went around the perimeter of the pool. And they did a good job with that. Not humongo mortar joints, but very nice amount. Here we see the view, that awesome view going around. And that flagstone looks really nice. I like that. And color's got a little bit of cream and tan. You can see over here, it's not all just gray, but the sun's not on this side over here, so it is looking pretty dark. And there was some kind of reflection, so there's something behind me when I was taking these pictures that gave us that reflection. I'm not sure, maybe it was a motorhome or something. I'm not quite exactly sure. Here we see that crazy rock in the background. That was really wild. Guess I could push in on that. But here's that little pool, just a simple little shape. Looks like there's a step and then another step. So it might have had 4 feet, 3 feet of water down in there to cool off and just to dip into, and then maybe sit on the edge of the coping there and look at the view, because they did have a beautiful view there, as you've seen. Look at that real rock in the background. Look at that thing. You can almost imagine some faces on there or something. Real rock there, and then I'm trying to match it. You can see there's a good amount of texture there, but there's also shadowing, so it's hard to know how smooth or not smooth that rock was, but looks pretty neat. So I'd love to put one of these in my yard, actually. Just a little wading pond to cool off in. And I've got the ball rolling, as you've seen in some of my videos. I do have that dug, and we will see if the country holds together and I can figure out a way to finance it and get it done. I'd love to have that pond flushed out. But here again is another view of it. There's that funky rock in the background you can see. That thing is wild, man. Really crazy. So these are big stones. Again, same process of rebar, burlap on the inside. I don't think I was doing a lot of pegboard then. That was very, very likely just burlap that we see being used in this one. This is the roll of film. This is film, not digital. So this is all, I had to, pay for my learning. That was all photography back in the day. You didn't have a delete button and then you just shoot it again, which you have now with the wonderful digital stuff. Yeah, digital is just amazing. You can take 1,000,000 pictures and it costs you nothing. All my learning cost me thousands of dollars back in the day. And there's that black little highlight in the stone there, but I'm not sure if it's focused. Yeah, it looks pretty focused. So this was probably not on too long because it's foamed up a little bit, and you got to get that organic matter to work its way through out of there to get the water to be less foamy. In general, it's also taking in some of the material that you build these things with, the cement and concrete. It takes a little bit of time for it to mature and cure, and all the parts of that to do their thing and work their way through. Here's one more pick here after this, but you can see the look of this. It's kind of roundy. You can see this real rock here has a little bit more texture to it. It looks like, at least I think that thing's. I'm looking at it more closely. I might have made that one. So that's good. It has more cracks and stuff in it. So it looks like it's probably a faux rock. But anyways, little pond, pretty cool that you can get these things. You don't always have to make a big giant thing. There's our crazy monster rock in the background. And yeah, this was a fun little job. But again, this is like 20 years back in the very beginning of my career. So Very interesting project. Really, really fun. But so you can make little guys like this. You could put one of these in around your house. Get a place to cool off if you're in East County, just to dip in and have a nice water feature put there, and you are good to go. Get that summer heat to back off. So davehenderson.podia.com to find out how we do this, as I mentioned on other videos, and free stuff there you can download, free PDFs. And you can also go to www.daverhenderson.com, and there you will find blogs and links to other platforms. As I always try to put my little commercial, remember to be thankful and forgiving, guys. That's really important to a happy life. So until next time, I think these are kind of fun to do. They don't take so much time editing. So I love pulling out my old pictures. But again, this is the beginning of my career, and just giving you another taste of what you can do in the faux rock and swimming pool or pond arena. So until next time, Mr. Dave here. Have a great day. Be creative. Be thankful. Get to know Jesus. He's coming back. And we will see you then. All right. God bless y'all.